my channel. Today I want to introduce you the book called The Let Them Theory. The author is Mel Robbins and her daughter named Sawyer Robbins. This book is extraordinary. So this book starts while Mel Robbins felt very tired and depressed. She didn't want to get out of bed every day. And one day she suddenly thought, what if I just get out of bed like the NASA launch rocket? So in her head, she counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And suddenly, automatically, she just got out of bed without any pressure at all. And when she was doing public speaking, she just shared her idea with everyone. And suddenly, it works on everyone and affected millions of people. But however, Mel Robbins come back to the original question. Why did I feel tired? Why do I feel so depressed? Why didn't I want to go out to work, to go out with friends and do something with everybody else? And then she found out it was because she cared a lot about what other people think. And just a teeny comment affected her tremendously. And so she found out the let them theory. The let them theory is about 2 steps. The first step is let them. The second one is let me. And these crucial steps can let her not to care about people this much. And so the let them is about let people do what they want. Let them. Just let them do it. Don't care. And let me is about how can I change this situation? How can I make myself feel better? So the first time that Mel Robbins discovered the let them theory is when his son Oakley is going to a prom. And the prom is very gorgeous and he prepared a long time about it. And while they're going to prom, there are about 20 friends going with him, and they suggested that they should go to a restaurant. But it is a hot time and all the restaurants are booked. And then his son suddenly suggested that, hey, we should go to a restaurant. And all his friends was like, yeah, okay, we gotta go there. And Mel was like, no, you'll get soaking wet. It's raining and you won't have enough seat inside. And her daughter Kendall just said, Mom, just let them do it. And Mel was like, they will get wet. Let them get wet. But their shirts are brand new. Let them. And then he was like, but they will go to prom in wet. And Kendall just let them. Let them go in wet tuxedo and wet dresses. Let them didn't have a good dinner or let them get soaked. It's their proms, not yours. And then this is when Mel Robbins suddenly realized that she didn't have to worry about so much thing. She didn't have to care about so much thing. Instead, she could put attention back to herself. Another experience is that while she was walking her dog in the park, some people told her that we might close the park or forbid the dog to come in because their dog was all over. And Mel was like, oh, I was never the one who did it. And later, about 10 minutes later, she saw a person and her dog just poop. But then she didn't clean it up. She just walked away. And Mel was furious. Of course, she couldn't control the dog to poo there or the woman to pick it up, but she can choose to pick it up for herself. She didn't like cleaning up after other people or doing things that others doesn't like, but she do like being a kind person who cared for a public environment. And so that is the let me part. Another experience is when she was on the airplane. The person was coughing behind her and he was coughing very loudly without wearing a mask or covering his mouth. And Mel was like kind of annoyed by it because she had an important meeting and she didn't want to catch a cold. She just let him cough because there's nothing she can do about it. But she could tell him, sir, would you mind covering your mouth? And of course, she did that, and it worked. It did work for her, and she didn't get a cold. And that's because she did the let me part. For me, my personal experience is that this really works. Before, I really care about what my classmates or teachers at school does or whatever they did, even though that's some of that is none of my business, but however, I just cared, and some of it just affected me. But however, when I found out the let them theory, it really worked for me. Just let them get confused. Let them do anything, whatever they want, and let me put my attention back to myself and what I'm going to do. So Eventually, all the things that used to irritate and annoy me suddenly just didn't did anymore. So I highly recommended this book to people who wanted to focus more about themselves or have an important goal to achieve. Bye bye, see you next time!